Hello, everybody. Hi there. It's Heidi here from She Shared Arts. Hope everybody's having a great day. Let me share a little bit here. And then we'll get going. Got another fun project here this evening. All right. If you're jumping on, say hello so I know that you're here. I've got a fun project here this evening. We're working with the exact same ornament template that we've been working with. This is from the Easy.Art December box that ships out on December 1st. So this is what the blank looks like here. This is from Diverse Woodworking. So I've teamed up with them to bring you guys a fantastic Easy.Art subscription box. So this is the same design we worked with last night. We're working with it again tonight, and I have base coated my blank black. So I use matte black paint. So we'll get started with that. We're going to do this wonderful, I call it a petal swirl. So I'm going to show you this fun design, and the swooshes or swipes are just another thing that's kind of an add-on to what you would do with dot art. So this is a real fun piece. I'm excited to bring it to you tonight. So let's get started. So I've got the original piece all in pinks. So I've got from light to dark pink. Tonight we're going to work with some turquoise colors, really pretty, rich turquoise colors. So I'm real excited to show this to you guys. And I'm using a bit of a different kind of tool tonight. So a lot of times on swishes and swipes, people use exclusively ball tools like this, or maybe even something like this, metal ball tool. Excuse me. I actually made some homemade ball tools that I absolutely love because they do these wonderful marks just like this, and I never have any issue with them. So I am going to go ahead and show those to you. So these ball tools, you'll be amazed at how easy they are to make. So that it is a pencil, and it's just in the pencil eraser. I actually have different sized just little ball earrings, so that I bought real cheap at the store. So I have 6 different sizes here, and we're going to use those tonight to make our swooshes and swipes. So I'm excited to get going and show you how easy it is to do this. So I've got these laid out over here on the side, just in size order that I'm going to need them in. Now let's go over our paints here real quick. I've got all deco art tonight, and I'll go over the colors. I've got Laguna, Teal Mint, Desert Turquoise, Bluegrass Green, Peacock Teal, and Mermaid Tail. So just some wonderful teal colors that we're going to do here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Normally I start right with the center one. On this pattern, I'm going to leave it blank because I want to wait till the very end to determine what color I actually want to put in the center. I like to see on this what it looks like as I go through and see if I want to do something different than just the lightest color. So we're going to start here with my smallest homemade tool here, and basically it's way different than what I've done on some of the others. I'm going to line up the colors, and then I'm going to go back and fill in. So you'll see here what I'm doing just as I get started here. So we're going to start here right on these interior petals. So if you cannot see it on the black, we're starting right here with this interior flower here. And you'll see how I'm going to go. I've got 6 different colors here. So this is going to be a lot different than some of the ones that I've shown you before. So with the 6 different colors, it's going to be a swirl effect that will just kind of go on around with the color pattern. So it's really, really pretty how it turns out. So we're going to go from the outside of the petal in, And basically all I'm doing is placing that color down right onto the canvas, and I am dragging it down. And it's just a real light touch on it. I actually don't even go very strong with that. I just to lightly touch it and pull it down. And you can see it makes a really nice swipe there. And I'm just going in my color order here. I've got everything laid out in my palette here in order of how I want the petals to be arranged. All right, so we've about got our first row done here. And we'll go with color number 6, which is our Mermaid Tail. And you guys, Mermaid Tail is honestly my very favorite teal color. It's very rich. I absolutely love it. It's just a fun color because it is just really vibrant. Okay, I'm stepping up a size here on my little tool. Now, as we did yesterday when we were doing the red, white, and green, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm basically just going to, if I started here, I'm going to step over and up one. And that's what's going to start to create that swirl effect. And I'm going up a size here in my tool. And we're just going to continue like we did here on the first round. We're going to go around and change our color with each different one. And we're just putting these individual petal colors right in here in this Easy Dot Art template. So it just makes it so, it's just what it says, it makes it so easy to fill this out and keep everything lined up the way you need to have it. Now, it's funny when I really get everything out here onto the template here and I get all these colors swirled, you'll see me counting a little bit. Once you get multiple colors and swirls onto here, you have to really concentrate to keep track of what you're doing color-wise here. So it's you can start to see maybe the swirl a little bit there. I'm going up a size in my tool. If you missed it at first, these are some handmade tools that I made myself to make the swoosh art very easy. So with dot art, swooshes are something that has become very popular. If you're new to the dot art world, that is something that you'll probably see as you start to look around and see what other people are doing with their artwork. You'll start to see a lot of these swooshes appearing in the dot art scene. So it's something that's for the last couple of years probably that people are really working on perfecting. And this is my favorite tool to do these swooshes with. For me, they're just really effective, and I can make really nice swooshes with these. And it's crazy because they're just these easy little handmade tools that I made out of just everyday things at home. So if you can see the swoosh, the swirl starting to go around here, I'm basically just going up one and over on each color so that I can really create that swirl pattern there. Now, so I've got this going on here. We're starting back with color number 1 here. So not only does it do the swirl as you go around, it also creates a pattern with the up and down colors as well. And then you really just kind of have to watch what you're doing here and make sure that you've got the right color where you need to have it. And you kind of have to keep track of what colors are where. This one that I'm using here is a little bit bigger, so it's easier to get a lot on there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay, I had to see where I was. 4. So you can see it's kind of, as you get going here, you have to really pay attention. And if I don't pay attention, I'll mess up my colors here, and I don't want to do that. because it looks really pretty when you get them laid out all the correct way. And then we'll end up with the mermaid tail on the end here. Okay, and you can just see that I'm just going around here with the tool. Now, the next area that I'll be going to is this very large one here. So I really have a really large tool here that I'm going to use. And we'll start again here with the lightest color. So this is my lightest color, and it just helps to kind of keep track of what color you start with. It just makes life a little easier as you're trying to do this design. And we'll do color number 2 here. I had a lot of paint on that one, probably a little too much. It made my swipes pretty big here. I'll try to watch what I'm doing and make them a little bit smaller. I am wiping my tool off after each color so that I make sure I don't have the other color on there. This is color number 5. And then we'll end up with the mermaid tail on number 6. So this mandala pattern is a 6-petal pattern. You can notice that here on the very center of the original design. There's 6 petals here. Now it gets a little confusing if you don't pay attention to each different level here. So you have to notice that there's level 1, level 2, level 3. There's always 6 petals on each level. So you just have to really pay attention to where you're at in your levels. So I'm basically going to go right back here, and I'm looking for my color number 1, which is my light. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I should have 5 stripes of each one. So I know on my light color, my next one's going to be right up here. Okay, so I'm going back again to, I'm going to the second to largest one for the rest of these. So I'm going right here. And we're going to continue down on the colors, and we'll just go right to the next one here. And it is the exact same one on each color. So we're just going to make sure that we are in the right color and the right shape of petal here. I almost went backwards. And I'm pulling from the outside in on these. So this is what makes the flower or petal design here, because I'm pulling down from the outside in. It gives that illusion of a petal. And I tell you, with these swipes that I'm doing, swooshes or swipes, whatever you want to call them, the more you practice, the better you become at them. And that one was a challenging one. So I'm actually going to take that one and clean it off. I'm not happy with that one. So this will give me a good opportunity to show you guys how to clean off a mistake. So I'm just taking a Q-tip here and kind of swirling it around and picking that up. You can get a little water on that Q-tip. It might make it a little easier. So I do just keep a little tub of water here just so I can pick these up if I need to. I don't want to push on it too hard because I don't want to scrape my black up and have to start over on that. But you can see there, it's fairly easy to clean up a mistake there. I did not like that swipe there. And we'll cover over that with the blue. I'm going to come back and get that one. I'm going to do the last one here. I want to let that dry a minute. I did put some water on there. All right. If you're jumping on, say hi tonight so I know that you're here. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, so we're going to go back and get that the last one that I cleaned up here. There we go, much better. Okay, now, so we've got everything filled out but the smaller little ones here. Now, I'm going to go back in with this one, with the same one that I just used. This size tool that was on the previous one will work really well in this smaller one as I come up. So I want to start here with my light blue, and I'm looking to see where it goes. So right here, and we're just swirling around and out as we go. So we're just putting that center in there on each different color, and we are rotating and coming with each new color. So as we go through and we really start to fill in, you will see how the rotation goes on this one when you're doing 6 different colors. Got my hand there in the wet paint. So on that edge there, that's pretty easy to do. We can always come back with what I call rescue paint, which is black paint. I do most of these that I do when I do the background. The majority of the dot mandalas that I do actually have a black background, simply because no other reason than I like the pop of color on the black. I always think it looks really pretty. I've tried a lot of other background colors for different mandalas, and what I find out is it looks pretty, but when I get done, I always wish that I would have done it in, black. So I always go back. So, hey Darlene, how you doing? So these tools that I'm using tonight, I actually made. Let me make this one more stripe here, and I'll show you what I did. They're very easy to make. So you can get ball tools, which I'll show you what a traditional ball tool is. You can buy ball tools on Amazon, and they just look like this. I don't like these metal ones. I don't get as good a results with them as I do with the ones that I'm using. So these are the traditional metal ball tools, and I think there was 4 or 5 in a set. You can get them on Amazon. There are small ball tools, which are your nail art tools that I have here. You can get those at your local beauty supply like Sally's, or you can get these on Amazon or Wish really inexpensively. So those set of nail art ball tools, they have 5 different size tools, and there are 10 size tips there. So those are for really small work. Now, what I'm doing here today, I made these myself, and these are actually just pencils, and I stuck earring balls in the end so I could have graduated sizes. So really simple here. It's just an earring. It's just a little ball earring that I picked up at Walmart. Really simple. And I just got a set of like 6 different size earrings and stuck them in there. So I have just all different sizes of these, and I just use those for my swoops and swipes. It makes it really easy to do, and literally so inexpensive. I bought the pencils at the Dollar Tree, pack of 20 for $1, and I think I got the pack of 6 earrings for $3.99. So I made multiple tools out of these. So I actually have on my Facebook page, you can go there and look back in the history of the videos. You can see a video of me making these tools. So great to use, really handy for this work that I'm doing here today. Okay, so we're going to go back in and we're going to put swipes alongside of each one of these to start filling out our petals as we go. I'm going to go ahead and run the dryer over this real quick because I don't want to get my hand anymore into the wet paint like I did just a minute ago. I want to try to be real careful with that. So pardon the dryer here for a minute. It's not quite so tacky. So we're going to go back, and I am just going to go in and fill in. I'm going to start right here with my, let's find my lighter blue. Here's my lighter blue. That is the very lightest one. We're going to start with that again, and I'm just going to pick a size that looks like it's going to fit in here. So basically what I want to do, I'm going to just kind of look at these, and I really just want to fit another swipe in beside that previous one. These are going to be really small little swipes, simply because I'm trying not to touch them. I just want them to be just a little accent on that petal. So like a flower petal, you would see the extra little pieces, almost like a mum or something like that, where you would see the extended little petals there. If you have any questions, you guys, feel free to ask me. So the base that I have here that I'm using today, this is from my Dot Art subscription box. It's called Easy Dot Art. And that subscription box, I've teamed up with Diverse Woodworking, and we're doing three different designs every month. So this is actually one of the designs from the December 1st box that'll be shipped out. So if you're interested in that, you can, I'll post the link at the end of the video, and you can go on and order that. This actual box with the 3 designs that I have for December are available through the end of the 25th, which is tomorrow. So if you like these designs, you'll definitely want to get on there and order that before the end of tomorrow. And they will ship out December 1st. And there's a live Facebook group where we can learn and dot and do all this together and learn how to, all the ins and outs of dot art, and how you can improve your art, and just a lot of fun things that we're going to be doing. Okay, so I'm using the other end of this same tool, and I'm just going to go out a row. This is just really going up like one size in tool here. And I am wiping my tool after each color so that I can move on up to the next color without blending them in together. And again, I'm just doing little accent swipes here alongside the first petal swipe, just to fill that in so that you can, just to fill that in alongside the edge. And by the time we get done, we're going to end up with a really full flower like you saw in the pink sample. And you'll see that swirl design there. As we go through, it'll really become evident. The swirl is a lot of fun because you don't really see it until you get to the end, and all of a sudden there it is. And it's just, it gives a great effect. And it's just something that people look at and say, oh my goodness, how in the world did you do that? And so it's just fun and unique, and people love it. Okay, so we're going up the, back to where I started here. So remember, I started here on the light blue, going up to the next one here. So here is where we get to the point where we may need to do more than just one swipe on each side. So I actually am going to use my smallest personal made tool here that I have, and I actually might go up one, my second smallest tool here, and we're going to just lay another line, another swoosh here. And the key is you want to get it in there right up next to the previous one, and I call it hugging it up. You hug it up in there without touching that previous mark that you made. So hugging it up is one of those terms. It's just something that I use to kind of, so it makes sense what we're doing here. We are just getting, I'm going to use a little smaller tool on that one. This one is really thick, so I'm going to use the smaller tool. That way I can fit it in there. And in the grand scheme of things, you really won't notice that I did that. I just didn't want to use that bigger tool and have it be too thick to where it was going to touch or where it wouldn't look good. I don't want it to be jumbled up in there. I'm going back to the larger tool here and color number 4. So it's just a matter of kind of keeping track of colors and where you're at on the pattern. And we'll go up to the next one, color number 5, which is our peacock teal. You could put a little comma swoosh in there if you want to do that, or you keep them straight as can be. It just helps to make, you're really just making petals that are filled out here. And then our last color is our Mermaid Tail. And we'll go right in here. You can see the difference here in the dry to the wet paint as I come back in and re-swipe there. That was a little bit thicker one too. So I'm actually going to go back in now and take one of the smaller tools here. And I probably really want like the smallest one maybe, which is the pink one. And I'm going to do the same area we just were, except I'm doing a really small little swoosh or swipe there along the side just to fill in that petal. So we got all of ours laid out here, and I've done this similar design a couple different ways so that you can see the swirl. But I've really found out that laying the colors out to where you have at least one of the color in each petal really helps you keep track of where your colors need to go, because it can become a little bit overwhelming if you don't kind of lay those guidelines down there so you can see where you want that to go. I'm going to lay just another little coat on that one. There was a little extra room there. All right. And then we'll get up here to our last one, which is the Mermaid Tail. And I'm gonna, on that other side there, I'm going to use the very, very teeny tiny end of this one because I don't have as much room there as what I had on the other end. So this little teeny one will fit right in there. So you can kind of start to see how that swirl is starting to appear here. Okay, we're ready to move on up to the next level. So we're going back again and we're looking for our lightest one. So we know we're going to go right here to this one, and that's a pretty thick one. So I just kind of have to judge there to see, can I go up a size, or am I just going to need to use the small one here? I really need the small one because that swipe was a little thick. So I just have to, it's just a judgment call on some of these because you want to be able to fit that swipe in there without touching it to the previous one. And I'm trying to leave room here for the little bitty swipe too. So you kind of have to judge distance and how that's going to fit in there. And here is another thick one. So these little tools that I made, they're pretty easy to clean at the end, but honestly, if you can't get them clean, you can replace the little earring head with another one. You know, if it doesn't come clean, you can just replace it. They're pretty economical. They're not going to break the bank. Okay, number 6 color here. And I'm going to do a little more on that. So on this, when you do the little swipes here, if they end up a little short, you can go back in and do just a little bit more to add in another layer. And thicken it up or lengthen it a little bit, whatever you need to do. Okay, so that was our number 6. Back to number 1 again. So number 1 here, all the way up. Okay, so we have a pretty thick petal here, so we can actually go up a couple sizes on our tool. I've got a thicker little ball tool here. Okay, number 1. So like I said, the biggest thing is just keeping track of where you are in your swirl and what color you want to do. Now the thing is, you can do any color you want. You can do a rainbow color if you want. You do not have to go in just one color scheme or anything like that. You can do a rainbow scheme. You can do alternating. I mean, the options are endless when you're working with these Easy Dot Art templates, because really your initial pattern's laid out there for you, and it's really just a matter of you determining how you want to create your own individual pattern with the pattern you're getting in the Easy Dot Art subscription. So that's why I love these patterns. They're just a lot of fun to work with, and you can really create a lot of amazing things with them. So I don't know if you've been watching me throughout the last week or so, but I've done several different versions of this exact pattern. So if I have them all here at the end, I'll go back and show you what all I created with this one pattern. So it's amazing. It's really, endless as far as the options of what you can do with these, because it's really all up to, your imagination and how you want to do it. Okay, so got us around there. We're working back here to our number 1 spot again. Now we're going to fill in a couple more here because we actually have a lot of space here. So I'm going back in with the smallest one. That's my made one, and I'm really just gonna fill in alongside here on each one of these. And then I'm going to come in with the smaller one. I'm just going to finish this off with a little bit smaller of the nail art tool. And I'm just finishing that one off. And I'll just go around each one and finish off each one of those petals. I'm going to bring that second one down a little bit. So see, you can go back in, and this size that I'm using is very similar to that one that I made. So I was able to go back in and just redo that. Okay, we'll get number 3 color here. And finish that off. I'm going to lengthen that one down a little bit more. So these really, when you get out in these bigger petals here, it really starts to look almost like, the big chrysanthemum flowers. That's what that reminds me of. The big mums that you see in the fall. that the cheerleaders wear at the football games. That's what this reminds me of. I think it's really pretty that way. Okay, I'm going to just lengthen that down a little bit. So the one thing that I like about these tools that I don't like about the metal tools like this, the metal ones, if you're not careful, you can really dig into your paint. And I don't like that. The earring ball tools that I use don't seem to do that. They seem to be more adaptable to the use with the paint than the others. And I suppose a lot of it is, you know, just not being heavy-handed with it. You have to have a light touch to make these swooshes look really pretty. And sometimes it's easy to kind of dig in more than what you really anticipate doing and kind of dig that into that color to where you're rubbing along on the you're rubbing through the color. So, and that is just a matter of practicing with it and getting the feel for how hard you need to push down on that color. Okay, now we're out here to our mermaid tail, which is our darkest one. And then we'll finish it up here. So I'm going to go back in with a second swipe on that, and I'm even going to lengthen that one down there. There we go. Now, I'm looking at this row here. I may want to add in a little something there. So I'll look at those when I get all the way done, and we'll see if those need more to add in to make it look even thicker. So here we are back to our number one color again. So we're going to just pull into there and fill that up again, number one color. So I've got the second to smallest of my homemade tool there. Again, if you're just coming on and you missed how I made the homemade tools, these are pencils that I got at the Dollar Tree and just the little ball earrings of different sizes. So they're just graduated earring sizes. And I just simply put them down into the eraser of the pencil. And voila, I have little ball tools. So how I really started that, it's kind of funny. It was during COVID time, and when we were really in the beginning, and I ordered the other ball tools, and shipping was taking a crazy amount of time. So I thought, you know what, I can make this. I can make something like this, and to hold me over until my tools come in. And I got to using these and loving them. And so I really have hardly even used the ones that I actually ordered that took forever to come in. So I've used these little handmade tools quite a bit. So you can see I'm just finishing out and filling in each of these petals as I go around. And just filling in really just swipes of different sizes to fill out the length of those petals. Really, that's all I'm doing here. And it's so different that it ends up being, you know, just so pretty. So, you know, it's just a different form of the dot art, same kind of tools that we use for the dots, and we're just using them in a different way. So they're just a lot of fun to do, a lot of fun to play with. Once you really get to learn how to do this, you can just play with them all day long. There, now you can see I just dug down on that paint a little bit. That's what I was saying, that I think that it gets a little bit heavy-handed. Now, it looks like I did the wrong color here. I'm going to come back in and do that color again with the bigger tool, because it really looks like I've got the wrong color. To me, it looks like it. So I'm just going to cover over that swipe there and see if I can fix that. That looks a lot better. Okay, we're up here to color number 3. And I think I probably just picked up the wrong color on that last one when I did the initial swipe. So it's just one of those things you kind of have to just really pay attention and just really concentrate on what color goes where. And I kind of keep in my mind, okay, color number 3, you know, and just kind of count down on what color I'm using each time as I go through. And that just kind of helps keep your swirl going the right direction there. So I'm just kind of lengthening these down here a little bit. And I'll put that last one in there. Okay, on to color number 4. So when I lined up my colors in my tray, I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I just keep them in that straight line order so that I can remember what I'm putting where. And that kind of helps me keep my colors lined up here. So on this one, I'm going to go back in and pull that down a little bit. So I'm just putting a little bit more paint, loading a little more paint onto my tool so that I can pull that down. Now that will make your end a little bit thicker, but on these longer ones, sometimes you have to do that to get that paint to pull down. Oh, Cheryl. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, go make your yummy dressing and you can watch me later. Yes, I figure everybody's doing so much tonight. So I'm so happy that people were able to take a little time and join me this evening and watch. If you can't, though, grab me on the replay. You know, it's always there. It doesn't go away. So, okay, so color number 5 and then 6. So we're going to go in here. Color number 5 is our peacock teal. So we'll grab the peacock teal here. Just remember though, this design here is in the December 1st box. So this ships out on December 1st. If you like this design, this box sale closes tomorrow at midnight, so the 25th at midnight. So if you like this one and the other designs, I'll show those at the end. If you like these, you want to make sure that you get in on the sale for these. And we're also running a founding member special on this. So it's $3 off what your normal monthly charge would be for that. So the other great thing is if you live in the continental United States, that shipping is free on these. Then if you're outside of the continental United States, there is just a little bit charge on shipping, just depending on where you live. Okay, now up to number 5. And then I do see one area that I am going to go back and repair here, and I'll show you how to do that at the end. My favorite repair thing I call rescue paint is actually black paint. So I do, like I said earlier, I do a lot of black background. So black becomes rescue paint for me because I can rescue areas that might not have had the right paint where it needed to go or something along that line. Basically can go back in with black and fix any issues that I need to fix. So black is my rescue paint, and that's only when I have the black background. You get the gist. Okay, I'm just pulling down these ones that I just laid on here. I want them just a little longer. So I'm just recoating with some little more paint there, making it a little thicker. Hey Jamie, good to see you. Don't you love the teal? So glad you stopped by tonight. So we're going to fill this in then a little bit more on the side here with this one. Seems to be, I think I didn't do my swipes as thick, so if you have to do a little bit more, it's okay. Nobody, by the time you get all these swipes and swooshes on here, nobody's going to go back and say, oh, that side's got 4, that side's got 3. Not a big deal. In the grand scheme of things, you will not notice that. Okay, I have one thing I want to fix here. Now, we've got our last layer out here of petals. We'll start here with color number 1 and go back in there on that one. If you're just stopping by, make sure you say hello so I know that you're here. Okay, so that's our color number 1. So we're going to go back in. We're going to, I'm looking at my sizes here, seeing what I want to do. So this is my tool here that we're going to use. It's tool number 3 on that, color number 1. And on these, they're really short. So we're just going to go back in, and I'm going to go all the way around on this because there are several, and I just want to make sure I'm using the same size on all of these. So we'll just get each color done, and then I'll come back and go down the row with a different size. So I tell you, I just love this design. It's a lot of fun, and it's just really pretty when you get it all the way done. And like I said, there's so many options. You don't just have to do, you know, all blues, all pinks. Really, sky's the limit. You can do rainbow, you can do candy cane swirl, really whatever it is that you want to do. You could really turn it into a sunflower. That would be really pretty. Do some oranges and yellows and make a fall sunflower out of this. If you like that type of color scheme, that would be really pretty. Okay. Going down a size here. So back to color number 1 here. Oh, thanks, Jamie. You like the teal? It is nice, isn't it? You bought paint. Yay. Good deal. That's okay. I'm glad you stopped by. Okay. Okay, we're winding down here on our last petals. So I'll just recap here. I did the Laguna Teal Mint, Desert Turquoise, bluegrass green, peacock teal, and mermaid tail. And those are all Deco Art Americana. I think I accidentally got one gloss in there, so one of them will look a little glossy, but that's okay. I always do a triple thick spray coat at the end, so they'll all be glossy at the end. It won't matter that I got one glossy paint in there. That'll still be okay. It'll still all look really pretty in the end. Okay, all the way around there, and I'm going to go down here in size, and then we'll finish it off with the really small one if we need to. We may not need to. We'll see on each one. So when I get done here, stick around and I'll show you the different patterns that I've created with this design, and I'll also show you some of the different things that I've created this week with the December Easy Dot Art box. So we've got lots of different things that I've created over the week, and it will really showcase for you the variety of things that you can do with these pieces. Okay, we're coming down here to our mermaid tail. That is our dark color at the end. Okay, now I'm going to look at each of those petals and see if there's anything that I need to fill in here. And I do. This is the light one. I'm going to go in and just fill in one more there. It looked a little skimpy. I'm looking at the rest of them to see if there's anything that I need to do. Let's see, this is number 1. I think I'm going to put just a little extra here. I'm going to go down in size here. I just want to get an extra little swoop in there, and I'm going to do that all the way around on that level. I must have missed that when we were going through filling in. It needs just a little extra on that particular level. So you can see where I only did the 2, and it really has room for 2 different sizes. It has room for 3 different sizes. There we go. That's getting that filled in there. And then we'll do the very last one, which is the mermaid tail. And this is just me going through at the end, seeing if there's anything else that needs any attention at all. Now I want to show you how to fix. I don't know if you can see this, but right here, those ran together. And I don't really want those touching. So I've just got my Deco Art Mars Black. I'm just going to come in and just take one of my smallest little tools, and I'm just going to dip out of the cap here, and I just want to get just a little bitty bit of black, and I'm just going to accentuate that line down through there. And it'll look better once it dries. If it doesn't, I can go back and fix it with the with that color blue. Once it's dry, you won't see that like as a harsh line through there because it will dry a matte finish. And I can even go a little bit here. Okay, and that's just to put that, I wanted that separation line in there. I didn't want those touching. So when that dries, you won't see that little rescue paint there. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see the swirl there. So that is the swirl. and that is our teal blue version. Here is the pink version of the same pattern. Now let me show you some of the other things that I've created here with this. So this is what I call the mum pattern. Yeah, it looks like a big mum. So that's the initial mum pattern. And it's really just some design variations that were created with the exact same pattern. This is another swirl pattern that I did with bright colors. Here is a Christmas, red, white, and green. And here is a study in green here. I love that one. These are all created on the very same pattern. So you can see there's just so many different things that you can do. Now let me show you exactly what comes in the December Easy Dot Art box. So we have the compass pattern, and you can create things like this or this with the compass pattern. And then we also have what I call the poinsettia pattern, and you can create things like that or that or that with the poinsettia pattern. So really you can see that the design options are just endless, you guys. So this is the December Easy Dot Art box. You get these 3 pieces, and you also get a private Facebook group with me instructing you how to do the ins and outs of dot art. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this here tonight. If the December box is something that you're interested in, remember you get Founders Member pricing on that. I'll drop the link here in the comments below, and you can check that out and get all the information there. And I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And I really hope that you all have just a fabulous Thanksgiving, and that you eat too much turkey and you have too much fun. So I wish that for everybody. I hope you have a great time tomorrow. Have a good night. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.